Welcome to Flash Core, your sharpest source for daily headlines and deep dives. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and stay ahead of the curve. Have you ever wondered where your favorite products really come from? When you pick up an item at the store, do you check the label to see its journey across the globe? Every product has a story, and often it's more surprising than you might think. For decades, Made in the USA was a symbol of quality, innovation, and trust. American factories powered the world's supply chains, and consumers everywhere sought out US-made goods for their reliability and cutting-edge design. But now, a quiet shift is underway, one that's changing the way the world does business. Trade routes are being redrawn, and the flow of goods is taking new directions. Canada, America's friendly neighbor to the north, is suddenly capturing the attention of the world's biggest economies. Once seen as a secondary player, Canada is now stepping into the spotlight. And this isn't just about maple syrup or hockey sticks. Canada's influence is growing far beyond its traditional exports. We're talking about high-tech machinery built in Canadian factories, advanced greenhouse agriculture feeding millions, and critical minerals mined from the vast Canadian landscape, resources that are essential for everything from smartphones to electric cars. Countries that once relied almost exclusively on the US are now forging new alliances with Canada. They're drawn by Canada's modern trade agreements, its political stability, and a growing reputation for reliability and sustainability. In this video, we'll explore 7 countries that are increasingly choosing Canadian products over American ones, and what's driving this remarkable shift. We'll uncover the reasons behind Germany's strategic pivot, Japan's search for stable resources, and how other nations are rethinking their trade partnerships in favor of Canada. What does this mean for the future of North American trade? Could this shift reshape the economic landscape for decades to come? Is this just a temporary blip, or are we witnessing the start of a new era in global trade? Let's dive in and find out together. First up is Germany, often called Europe's economic engine and a global leader in manufacturing, engineering, and innovation. With its bustling cities, world-renowned industries, and a reputation for precision, Germany has long set the standard for quality and efficiency in Europe and beyond. For decades, German factories and assembly lines have relied heavily on American components and machinery. The transatlantic partnership with the US was once the backbone of German industry, with everything from automotive parts to high-tech equipment stamped Made in USA flowing into German plants. But now, a significant shift is underway. German manufacturers are increasingly looking north across the Atlantic to Canada as a new and reliable source for high-quality goods and resources. The game changer? CETA, the Comprehensive Economic and Trade Agreement between Canada and the European Union. This landmark deal eliminated tariffs on nearly all goods traded between the two partners, making Canadian products not only more affordable, but also more competitive than their American counterparts. For German manufacturers, who value predictability and long-term planning, this is a major advantage. With unpredictable US trade policies and ongoing tariff disputes, Germany sees Canada's steady hand and stable political climate as a major draw. The reliability and transparency of Canadian trade practices offer German businesses a sense of security that's increasingly hard to find elsewhere. In the auto industry, for example, Canadian aluminum, produced using clean, renewable energy, is now the preferred choice for German car makers. As Germany pushes to cut its carbon footprint and lead the way in electric vehicle production, sourcing sustainable materials from Canada helps them meet strict environmental targets and consumer expectations. But it's not just metals. Canadian agri-food exports are also booming, with vast fields of canola and lentils harvested in the Canadian prairies, now making their way to German tables. Products like Canadian lentils and canola oil are prized in Germany for their exceptional quality, traceability, and commitment to sustainability. They meet Germany's high standards for food safety and environmental responsibility, making them a top choice for both consumers and food producers. As Germany accelerates its move away from Russian gas, it's turning to Canada for new secure sources of energy. Canadian natural gas and liquefied natural gas, LNG, are seen as reliable alternatives that can help Germany diversify its energy mix and strengthen its energy security. Recent high-profile deals are paving the way for Canadian hydrogen and LNG exports to flow into Germany. But the partnership doesn't stop at resources. Technology is another frontier where the two countries are joining forces. German firms are investing in Canadian artificial intelligence and clean technology startups. recognizing the powerful synergy between German engineering expertise and Canadian innovation. Together, they're developing solutions for a greener, smarter future. This new era of collaboration isn't just about cutting costs. It's about building trust, prioritizing sustainability, and forging long-term partnerships that benefit both countries for years to come. Germany's pivot toward Canada is a strategic move, one that promises less uncertainty, more reliability, and a shared vision for the future. While the US remains an important trading partner, Canada is rapidly gaining ground in this crucial market, offering German businesses new opportunities and a fresh sense of optimism. For Germany, Canada isn't just a supplier, it's the partner of the future, ready to help shape the next chapter of European industry and innovation. Next, we head to Japan, a nation renowned for its resilience, innovation, and relentless pursuit of stability in a rapidly changing world. Japan's story is one of adaptation, where limited natural resources have driven the country to look outward, sourcing the world's best materials to fuel its industries and support its people. For decades, Japan's economic engine has relied on importing essential resources, transforming them into high-quality products that are exported globally. This dependence on imports has shaped Japan's foreign policy and trade relationships. While the United States was once Japan's top trading partner, shifting global dynamics and the need for reliable, long-term partners have led Japan to look increasingly toward Canada. Canada offers not just resources, but a sense of stability and shared values that are highly prized in today's uncertain climate. The Comprehensive and Progressive Agreement for Trans-Pacific Partnership, or CPTPP, has become a game-changer. With the US absent from this pact, Canadian exporters now enjoy preferential access to the Japanese market, giving them a significant edge over competitors. Canadian beef and pork, now more affordable thanks to reduced tariffs, are capturing the attention of Japanese consumers. These products are celebrated not only for their competitive prices, but also for their consistent high quality, qualities that matter deeply to Japanese buyers. Beyond meat, Canadian wheat and canola are in high demand. Their reputation for reliability and purity is crucial for Japan, a nation that has experienced supply shocks in the past and values steady, trustworthy partners. Japan's appetite for energy and minerals is also fueling this shift. As the world's third-largest economy, Japan needs a constant, secure flow of resources to keep its industries running smoothly. Canadian LNG projects are stepping up to meet this demand, promising a stable, long-term supply of cleaner energy. This is especially important as Japan seeks to diversify away from riskier suppliers and reduce its carbon footprint. The partnership extends to the future of technology as well. Japanese companies are investing heavily in Canadian critical minerals like lithium and cobalt, essential for manufacturing electric vehicle batteries and advancing green technology. Even in the lumber sector, Canadian wood is highly sought after. Ongoing trade disputes with the US have made Canadian lumber an even more attractive and reliable option for Japanese builders and manufacturers. Ultimately, for Japan, Canada represents more than just a source of goods. It's a partnership built on trust, stability, and mutual benefit, a vital alliance in a world where certainty is increasingly hard to find. After Brexit, the UK needed new trade partners. While a US deal stalled, Canada stepped in. The UK-Canada Trade Continuity Agreement kept trade flowing smoothly, giving Canadian businesses an edge. For British importers, dealing with Canada is straightforward: shared language, similar legal systems, and minimal tariffs. In finance, Canadian banks and investors are playing a bigger role in London's global hub. British consumers are developing a taste for Canadian ice wine, seafood, and premium foods, products that stand out for quality. Aerospace and tech ties are deepening, with UK firms partnering with Canadian innovators. Politically, the UK and Canada are close allies, sharing trust and strategic interests. For the UK, Canada is more than a fallback, it's a reliable, like-minded partner in a post-EU world. Down under, Australia is strengthening ties with Canada to diversify away from China. Both are CPTPP members, making trade seamless and profitable. Agriculture is a two-way street. Canada exports pulses and canola, Australia sends beef and wine. In mining, both nations share expertise and investment, collaborating on critical minerals for the energy transition. Australian investors are pouring money into Canadian tech startups, seeing Canada as a gateway to North America. The CanZUK movement reflects a desire for even closer integration. People, ideas, and capital flow freely. Politically, Australia and Canada are aligned, supporting each other on global issues. This partnership is about more than convenience. It's a strategic alliance for a complex Pacific future. In France, the CETA agreement has made Canadian goods more accessible and competitive. Aerospace is a standout. Canadian firms supply crucial components to Airbus, creating a deeply integrated supply chain. French consumers are embracing Canadian seafood and berries, prized for their quality. The digital sector is thriving, with French companies investing in Canadian game development and film. France is also eyeing Canadian expertise in hydropower and renewables as it diversifies energy sources. Shared values like climate action drive French companies to choose Canadian materials, such as clean aluminum. For France, Canada is a reliable, high-quality partner, blending history with modern economic opportunity. South Korea, a tech powerhouse, is turning to Canada for stable supply chains. The Canada-Korea Free Trade Agreement eliminated tariffs, giving Canadian exporters a leg up. Korean giants like Samsung and Hyundai source Canadian minerals and metals for batteries and electronics. Canadian beef, pork, and seafood are gaining ground in Korean supermarkets. The partnership is evolving. Korean firms are investing in Canadian mines and battery plants, building a North America to Asia supply chain. AI and clean energy are new frontiers, with joint research and investment in hydrogen and renewables. For South Korea, Canada is a trusted, predictable partner in a volatile region. In North America, Mexico is looking beyond the US to Canada for trade and investment. Under CUSMA, Canada's strengths stand out, especially in agriculture, where Mexican processors value Canadian grain for quality and reliability. In autos, Mexican plants increasingly rely on Canadian parts for their technology and standards. Canadian investment in Mexico is booming, especially in mining and banking. Politically, Canada is often seen as a neutral, straightforward partner, sometimes aligning with Mexico to balance US influence. Canadian firms are helping modernize Mexico's energy sector, especially in renewables. For Mexico, stronger ties with Canada mean more options, more stability, and a true three-way North American partnership. Around the world, countries are choosing Canada for stability, quality, and reliability. Canada's resources, tech sector, and strong trade agreements are making it a global powerhouse. This isn't about replacing the US, but about Canada's rise as a compelling alternative. For other nations, it means resilient supply chains and new opportunities. For the US, it's a wake-up call. Relationships must be earned, not assumed. For Canada, it's a moment to lead in clean energy, AI, and more. The Made in Canada label is becoming a new global standard. The North American trade landscape is changing, and Canada is writing the next chapter.